Hey everyone, and I will try to turn the camera as well. There we go, hi. It is the 19th of November, yes it is November, Saturday, and the time right now is 9:53 a.m. The temperature, let me just check the temperature, is -3. And we are in Joensuu. Joensuu is in the Eastern Finland, very close to the Russian border. Fairly well, I could show you the map here. I think we had a map, and we're going to keep walking towards the riverside here, which is very impressive. You can see it there. It's just a few streets here. I'm not very familiar. I've been here maybe well, I've been here once, that's for sure, but not for many times, and it's fairly new to me as well. I'm just going to go through some of the main streets and sites more as a tourist than anything else, really. I haven't done a lot of history checkups of anything. Just left my hotel there, and we're kind of close to the market square, which is always the one of the things that every bigger city in Finland will have. And I'm going to go through there, just this couple of pedestrian streets, so you see how the city center looks a little bit, and then we'll finish by the riverside if I can just walk the few streets towards the river. And it's very pretty. We drove through there yesterday, and I was surprised to see the views. It has a lock there as well, I think. Only saw it very briefly. But yeah, I don't usually make it out this far east, and I can hear my new winter coat is making a sound. Is the buttons down near the zebra. I'll just quickly do something about that while I walk, so that's not going to be annoying for the whole thing. And as you might know, I haven't really been recording for a while. I have been recording all summer now in Finland. I've had other things to deal with moving and sort of getting everything in place. So this is one of my first videos in a while. I did go to the Linnanmäki amusement park a while back, and I think it might be that I'm actually going to post this and just update you guys a little bit with what's going on, and have a recent video, because everything else that I am going to be posting, and I will be posting shortly, frequently, it's going to be from the summer and a little bit older. That's a really interesting statue, and someone's dressed it up as well. You can already see the Christmas trees and the lights. Very pretty yesterday evening. Very pretty here. Let's walk. There's clearly a sports bar here. And you can see the kind of outdoor seating is being heated around here, so you could basically go and have a drink outside. But with it being a -4 yesterday, we stuck inside. It's also snowing slightly. It's kind of snow that I think you probably will not be able to see on the video, which is a shame, because it does feel for me like the first real sort of a winter scenes. We've had a little bit of snow in the south. There was one day you went for about half an hour, it really snowed. It was so pretty. And definitely that's one of the highlights of being back here in Finland for me. These are stalls that will get a little bit busier, I'd imagine, as the day goes on. There's another statue here. Joensuu has a lot of lovely old wooden buildings as well, which I hope we'll get a peek at when I make my way towards the riverside. They're more to my left maybe right now. We'll see. I'll make it. Although we might loop around a little bit. So the market square is very quiet at the moment, but this is where we are. The snow is picking up a little bit. It would be really nice if it was actually visible on the video, give you a feel of how it is. But you can see it on the ground, and driving here there was even more snow around the roadsides. And it does look like the sun could even come out today. Try to get close enough. Is that a theater? It does say so. This is very bad of me not to do my research. I saw this building, it was also lighted. It had really lovely lights last night. That's definitely the wrong word in English. But in any case, even though the city center is looking a little bit, well, let's say not very busy this morning. Yesterday evening there were quite a few people around. Of course, many of them seeking the shelter of bars and restaurants. But hotels are quite full. 2 of them were sold out completely when we started looking for accommodation. So, not a bad thing for a city this far into Finland. It does take a little bit of traveling. I saw some tourists at breakfast. So you know, it's not so quiet as it seems. I'm just out here while other people are still waking up and getting breakfast, I guess. The snow is really lovely because we haven't really had it on the ground, and for me, in Finland, one of the sort of, I don't know what to say, it's the most, maybe the kind of time that doesn't really appeal to me so much is the part of the autumn and early winter when the trees have already lost their leaves, like you can see, and then the snow hasn't yet arrived, and it's very dark, and I'm so happy we're getting from that to the part where we're getting snow and it becomes a little bit lighter, even with the car, as you're driving the car. It's a lot easier when there's snow, just not as dark. It's exotic as well, having been in Singapore for 5 years or whatever it ends up being. It's exotic to be back and for snow to kind of be a regular thing. So this is definitely, there's a city hall here. So I was right that it does look a little bit grand for a theater. But it's definitely a very, very nice restaurant here. I would imagine in the summer it will have the views of the river over there. But it is the theater restaurant. I'll write it in the caption for this one, a text, so you can find out what the history of that building is. I was really tempted to do a walk because I haven't done them for a while, and I thought this would be great for an update that winter is here in a positive way, not in a Game of Thrones type of winter is coming type of thing, but winter is here, is now starting to get over those very dark months when it can be a little bit of a challenge to at least be sort of upbeat about how Finland looks. But as we get to this part of the year, it's really lovely. Of course, a bit cold as well. I got a very thick winter coat. Oh, that was another thing. When I ordered it, they lost it. And finally I got a call from the company that was bringing it to me. And they said they found it. And I told them I still want it. It was about a month from ordering and the money had already been returned. And they sent it over. And it was basically without any packaging. And it looked like it looked like it had been on the floor of a truck. It was dirty. and I got in touch with the company again, and they said I now have to send it back. It's already very cold. So we ended up with a compromise, but it's been a long time coming for this jacket, and it actually got here right in time for when we've been getting colder weather. Here's the lock I was talking about. I have a fondness for these type of things. I love that technology. And here's the water side. I think this is the restaurant ship in the summer. Would be lovely. A lot of the eastern towns are actually really, really nice summer towns in Finland, and I haven't really realized that before. So what I'll do next summer for sure is make some kind of trip around here. Maybe get a car and just visit the loveliest spots in Eastern Finland, but also everywhere else. The snow is now picking up. It's snowing. For me, this is the second time I'm in sort of a real snowing situation this winter. I was contemplating going out the first time when it snowed, but it wasn't really worth it. It was quite dark already. Just getting to that point where the sun is setting, and I thought I wouldn't have time, and I was right. I wouldn't really have turned out into a video, but I imagine that as the winter picks up and we go towards the spring, I'm going to be mostly now posting the videos that are the old videos, which I've been talking about a lot, but that's really going to happen. And my plans are not to travel a lot towards Christmas. I might go to Tallinn, thinking the Christmas market there would be lovely to visit, but I might not have time. I have to be realistic about these things. This Christmas will be a little bit special, so I'm just trying to get everything I need to get done by mid-December, and I think that will just be basically editing a lot of videos and getting those out after waiting quite a while. But yeah, everything is basically now sorted out for moving here. For the foreseeable future, I also do have the option to come back to Singapore if I decided to do that. But as you probably know, the prices there have really gone up for renting. And because I'm not really tied there by my job situation, it just makes so much more sense to live somewhere where the living costs are better and family is close by. I will definitely come back and record the videos for a month, maybe two at some point. And like I've talked about on these videos, but you probably haven't seen them because I haven't posted them yet, I do have a plan to go to Australia in the spring to see a friend there, spend time with them. And I think it's a perfect thing. I already have a flight as well for Singapore. So in the spring, definitely I'll be back, and in the meantime we'll just see a lot of all the videos from Singapore. I will post all of them. I put my sort of heart and soul into those as well, and I've done all that. It might not be the best thing for the channel, but you know what, I run the channel, so I'm not going to stress about it too much. I hope you enjoy them, even though the dates are a little bit off and not everything might be so current. Hopefully I can also once in a while do an update like this, like we are now in Joensuu, and show you something new. I'll definitely go to the Christmas markets in Helsinki. We'll get to those wooden buildings. I think I'll walk towards the end of the harbour here in Joensuu and loop around to the wooden buildings. I'll have a look at those. Oh, the ship is called Romeo. It was actually a fairly interesting story that people have been following now. A solo sailor taking part, I think, in a competition has been waiting to be rescued after his sailing ship sank in the middle of the ocean, and the closest people by were at first 500 kilometers away, and he was in a rescue or some kind of an emergency boat situation in the middle of 4 meter waves apparently, and just waiting to be rescued. And one of the people in the competition has got there and saved the guy. I think he's well over 60, so you know, good for him to be able to take part in that kind of competition. But yeah, he's been saved, but everyone has been following, and he had to wait, I think, for over 12 hours. So that just came to my mind while we're looking at the boats and the water view. So that's a current thing that we were following, but luckily he's okay, at least according to the news. Must be a bit of a shake-up though. It cannot be something you just kind of have happened to you and are okay with it. So hopefully everything will be fine, and must be quite experienced with that kind of stuff. But you can imagine what goes through your mind in a situation like that as you're waiting for hours and hours. There's a biking trail here, a map for it. Of course, around this part of Finland, quite quickly as you go out of town, you'll get to really amazing views. We're not even close to Lapland, which might seem weird because we drove for, I think, nearly 5 hours without stops. We did stop, so always difficult to factor that in, but without the stops I think it would have been nearly 5, maybe 4.5 or so hours drive from Vantaa in the south. So we're far away, long drive, not even closely to the edge of Finland or Lapland, not even in the north in a way, just more towards the east. So we're very close to Russia, like I mentioned, on the border. All of the signs along the way tell you the distance to St. Petersburg, which used to be a thing. Now, of course, that is very, very quiet. No tourists and things like that. It's always nice to visit some of the parts of the country that I don't really get to so frequently, and that's one of the really nice things about being here a little bit more. When I left Finland, I was so young, I was 21 when I left, and my thinking was pretty much that I'm happy to get out, you know. I don't want to, I want to be in the world, explore the world, see everything. And now, a little bit older, some decades later, well, not so many, but in any case, going back in my 30s, it's kind of a different feel. I do like the bear here. Just been drawn towards it. What changes when you live away for a long time is that you start seeing things with a new perspective. You start seeing how good the building quality is, how good it is to live in a practically new flat, even when it's made like 10 years ago. Nothing leaks. There are no sort of issues with water coming through the walls or windows. It's very warm inside. It's not like a London place where it gets very cold in the winter. There are a lot of pluses. And you also start seeing the cities like they are new places. I think it's difficult to open your eyes to things you see every day. I was talking about this actually with someone who visited me in Singapore before I left this time, and he was saying how it must feel if you live in Singapore, and you can comment on this if you want, how it must feel when you grow up in that environment. If you know anyone who's sort of that age, that they've grown up with the high rises and the amazing city views. I guess that wouldn't be so many people because Marina Bay was built fairly recently, but point being here that whatever you grow up with, it's difficult to see its full value unless you go away sometimes. This area of wooden buildings that have been restored, they have, I think, a lot of restaurants, some kind of art or crafts district as well, cafes and things, and it really fits that kind of feel. Bars, bistros, cafes. I think there's something to do with art as well. Get across here. And where we came from originally, that's a pedestrian area in the city center just for shopping and restaurants, which is really nice. I really appreciate that. In a city this size, it doesn't really affect the traffic a lot, but for pedestrians who just want to go and enjoy their evening, it's really nice to have that kind of area where everything is centered. Helsinki in a way misses that. It doesn't really have that. And here it really works out, I think. Of course, I only visited for one night, so locals might have views on that. Maybe it makes it really difficult to get somewhere if there's more traffic. But it's a small area, and it's just nice to have that sort of a pedestrian-only area, I think. A lot of bikes as well. It still surprises me that people have their bikes and they ride them when the weather gets more wintry. Maybe I'll get back to that. Maybe I'll learn to do it again. But to be honest, I never really rode my bike into winter when I lived in Finland, not even as a kid. I kind of thought that would be difficult and maybe even dangerous with the black snow. Oh, it's not snow, ice. Things like that. But maybe I'll get the hang of it again. Become a little bit more local that way. That's part of the pedestrian center, and I'm just wondering, I've got 22 minutes on this. Now I'm on the clock. I promised to get back so we can get in the car and get going. But I was given half an hour plus, and I'm very thankful for that. I'm actually traveling with nice people. But we are on a clock, and we have to go meet someone, pick something up, and drive all the way back to the south today. And a snowstorm is coming. It's a little bit iffy if it's going to reach us in the south. It might kind of just go the other way, but in case it does happen, we want to be there before it hits, so the driving conditions don't get very bad. Of course, everyone has winter tires by now. It's a legal requirement when the weather gets wintry in Finland. So you will get a fine if you don't do it, which I know some areas that do get snow and ice, they don't do it. But in Finland you have to. I think a 60s pub around the corner there. So I assure you this will pick up a little bit as people come out for their Saturday. And I've just covered a very small part of town, but very central part. We're now back at the market square. I'll make a turn, we'll have a look down the street, and I think that will be it for this one. So the next videos you'll see will be old ones, unless something super interesting happens with the snowstorm, and I'll go cover that. But otherwise, it might be just all the videos, and then once in a while I'll try to get something like this in. I'll definitely try to get the Christmas lights in Helsinki again, and the Christmas market. The lights, part of them are up. The trees, you might remember from my videos last year, they are already up. Are looking very pretty, and the Christmas window at Stockman, has opened. I saw it. It's very, very cute. We have to get that on camera for sure. It is just super cute. I'm going to try to find my other glove quickly before we finish here. So we're at the corner of Stream Street, Koskikatu, and Church Street, Kirkkokatu. Let me just check because, yeah, I think this is actually pretty perfect. I need to get back to a place that is on this street. So let's just walk towards there and we'll finish very similar to what we started with. And thank you if you're watching this long. Joensuu, by the way, has quite a few artists and musicians, bands coming from here. So it's definitely a big city with kind of a, well known and a history that I haven't covered today at all. This is not a city tour by any standards, but it does give you a little bit of a view if you're maybe coming or just interested. City Hall at the other end. And hopefully I can catch some really nice snowstorms and all of that Christmas markets. Last year I got a reindeer, so we'll see what I get up to this year. I'll definitely post that kind of thing. I'm not doing as many as last year, but if I do kind of a Christmas themes winter videos, I'll try to post those in the middle of the Singapore stuff and London stuff that is coming now. And my aim is to start posting daily. Don't be put off by how many videos are out there. I just want to catch up to the current situation before I'm back somewhere super interesting. I know I'll probably go to the US. I'll probably do quite a few things that will be worth covering, including the Australia trip. So I want to catch up and be up to date with these videos. But today, I hope you enjoyed seeing Joensuu and a little bit of winter scenes. It's not quite, the snowing has stopped, so it was one of those really short-lived, not even a snowstorm for sure. But it was nice to feel that winter is coming. That's a positive thing for me. I'm really looking forward to it. It's not quite as bad as they make it seem in Game of Thrones. Not around here in any case. Hopefully you will start feeling like Christmas really soon. Sorry if you're one of the people who feels this is way too early, but for me, I am waiting for the Christmas trees to come so I can go and buy one and decorate one. I'm going to have it as soon as I can, and yeah, really looking forward to it. I've already bought my Moomin Christmas pillows and put on my sofa. Got a lot of decorating. I did do Halloween. I made a jack-o'-lantern, a pumpkin that I carved, and that turned out pretty well. Maybe I'll add that at the end for you to have a little bit of a laugh. And I did get flowers with a spider, things like that. Now I have pumpkins, fake pumpkins out on my table, and some autumn decorations, but it should turn into winter decorations very, very soon. So it's been a little bit of a difficult year for me. A little bit, well, not a little bit, one of the most difficult years for me. And it all kind of has turned out really well. So that has definitely been seen on this channel, and I apologize for that. But you just have to know that, you know, things happen. People go through difficult things in their lives. It takes a little bit to cover. Sometimes you cannot do anything but just sort of live your everyday life, go through it. And now that I'm at a point where I can put that behind me, I can also focus on the channel again and get things going. And I'm really grateful for that, and that is still here, it's still been growing somehow. Thank you so much, everyone. I'm going to be back, and yeah, I'm going to keep working on it and just watching more of your videos as well. I really look forward to seeing all the Christmas stuff in Singapore. It's so pretty every year, and I think this year they're just really going to look kind of almost overdo it, because we're so much better with the COVID situation, and it's not really affecting things anymore. So I think it's going to be everywhere. It's going to be quite a lot of Christmas stuff, and I can't really wait for it. I really love Christmas, so looking forward to all your videos on it. I'll definitely be watching and commenting. Thank you so much. I'm going to leave this here. We've gone over 30 minutes, and that was what I was promised. So I'm going to head back and catch my ride, so I'm not left here in the east of Finland. And with that, thank you so much for sticking along and kind of still being interested in what's going on with me. I've had so many nice comments and everything. It's very heartwarming. And as things pick up, hopefully I'll be around a lot more to kind of also support you guys and hear what's going on with you, rather than just dealing with my own stuff. So thank you for everything. It's been a huge support for me, and it's really nice that this channel is still here and I have all the videos to post, even though they're a little bit older ones. So I hope you enjoyed seeing Joensuu. Next videos will be winter videos, Christmas market videos, and then the sort of huge number of videos. I think I have probably hundreds of videos from Singapore, from London, from everywhere I've been this summer, and it will be more like an update on the summer and update on a lot of places and things that happened. That will still hopefully be a little bit interesting, and then we'll catch up to where we are now, and hopefully by the time I go on those big trips we'll be all caught up. So thank you so much. Hope you enjoyed Joensuu. I definitely did. It was a really nice visit to Joensuu. Short but very nice. And I hope I can be back in the summer for those amazing views and sitting by the riverside, that sort of thing. Thank you so much. And if you'd like to see my videos from the summer, I don't know if anyone really wants to see old videos, if that's something you're interested in. But if you want to see that, you want to hear me ramble on about stuff and walk around places, that is a possibility that's open to you. You can subscribe to the channel, and that's much appreciated. We're getting closer to 1,000, which is unbelievable. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone. And yeah, you can subscribe. You don't have to. You can just find me. I'll be here. And with that, I'm going to thank you so much. And I hope I'll see you again soon.